Hi, this is Keshav. Welcome back. I hope you guys are doing well. Yeah, as part of Azure Data Factory video series, let's get started with the next case study. Alright, let me read through the requirement. Here, this requirement is going to be 100% real-time requirement. I hope this will definitely help you out. Alright, load the data from product_sales.csv file in ADLS to product sales table in TargetDB database. So the high level requirement is it's a pretty simple, but I don't want to straight away pick the file and load the data into target table. I wanted to do some special checks in case if the file is modified since last load, then only I want to pick that file, load the data from that file into table. Once it is loaded, I want to archive the file. In case if the file is not modified since last load, I don't want to load the data. I just want to go ahead and archive the file straight away. Alright, let me walk you through the steps those I wanted to perform as part of this case study. First, get file metadata and load the data into log table for audit purpose. First, I wanted to get file metadata and load the data into log table. That can be used for audit purpose later. Alright, and next step is pull the last modified date from audit table and compare with last load date in the target table. Okay, in case the file modified date and last load date are same, so that means the data in the file and data which already last time loaded both are same. So in that case, why should we load again? If you load again, there could be duplicate records, right? So if last modified date and load date, if both are same, I wanted to straight away go ahead and archive the file. Alright, that's what I wanted to do. Let's see how do we develop the pipeline to have this complete requirement done. Alright, before going ahead and develop the pipeline, first let me take you guys into Azure portal, which I already logged in. So under Azure portal, let me take you guys into Azure Data Lake Storage account. This is Azure Data Lake Storage account which is already created. Under that account, go to containers. Under containers, I have got OKR demo container. Within that, I have got product_sales.csv. This file I need to check whether the file modified date and the last load date both are same or not. If both are not same, just I wanted to pick this file and load the data into target table. If both are same, I wanted to skip the load but copy this file to archive location. This is the location where I wanted to archive. Okay, first let me take you guys into SSMS and show you the tables. And this is the audit table which I'll be using for logging purpose. When I execute this query, see here, currently we don't have our file in this table. This table, global audit table, just assume we are going to use this audit table for multiple file loads. But in our case, our file name is product_sales.csv. That is not there currently. That we'll see how do we load that metadata details into audit table. Okay, and this is the target table, product_sales. If I execute this table, I don't have any data currently. Let's go ahead and build the pipeline to have audit details loaded into audit table, and file data loaded into our target table. I have already created one stored procedure here, that is sp_audit load. This stored procedure I created mainly to load audit table. What it does is, first it will check if the file whatever we are processing, if that file exists in the audit table or not. If that does not exist, it will go ahead and insert the records into audit table. In case if that file exists in the audit table already, what it does, it will go ahead and update few details like modified date will be updated with current file modified date, and count of the columns in the file, those also will be updated with the number of columns in the current file, and the size of the file will be updated with current file size. Okay, this stored procedure has got 4 input parameters here. These input parameters mainly to get input data and have data inserted as well as updated. First parameter, that is name, which will get file name, and the second parameter, that is load date, maybe you can say modified date. We have got count parameter and size parameter. So these parameters will get the data in the pipeline. That we'll see how do we pass the values to these parameters in the pipeline. All right, so I hope this is clear for you guys. This is the storage procedure I'm gonna use to load audit table with metadata details. So let me take you guys into ADF environment. I already launched ADF. Go ahead and create new pipeline. I'm gonna name it as file check or something. Okay, the first activity that I'm gonna use is, let me take you guys into requirement again. See, what is the first step? First step, we need to get metadata details of the file, right? To get metadata details of any file or folder, we have got one activity called get metadata activity. All right, get metadata activity is the activity through which we can get metadata details of any file or folder. All right, so in our case we need to get metadata details of file. So let's use get metadata activity. I'm gonna name it as file. Let me go ahead and create the dataset. What is our dataset here? I can go ahead and create a new dataset here, but I have got already dataset created. Let me use that existing dataset, that is DSADLS. If I open that, see, I would have used the file, see, under KR demo container, file name called product_sales.csv. That's it. And the first row has headers, that's also checked. That's it. Okay, let me use existing dataset instead of going ahead and creating new one. If you come all the way down here, there is option here, field list. Okay, currently we don't have any field list. Let me go ahead and add 4 fields here. So what is this field list is? See here, we need to add the fields for fetching the metadata. See, whatever the details you want to fetch from the file, you can see those details here. You can get column count, you can even check if the file exists or not, item name, item type, last modified, size and structure. So in our case we need file name. File name is item name. Get metadata activity is connected to file. If it is connected to folder, of course this metadata activity details might have been varied, but for file you could see all these options. In case of folder, those options will be varied. All right, fine. And also we need to get column count. Fine, I'm gonna get all the metadata details based on the stored procedure parameter values. Okay, here you could see that name, date, count and size. Fine, last modified date and size of the file. That's it. I'm gonna pick item name, column count, last modified, then size. That's it. These are the metadata details, those we need to load into our audit table. So once this metadata activity pulls all metadata details, then that metadata details has to be loaded into audit table, right? As I said, for loading the data into audit table, I created a stored procedure. That stored procedure has to be executed here. To execute stored procedure within Azure Data Factory, we need activity called stored procedure activity. To execute the stored procedure, we need to use stored procedure activity. So it has to be executed post get metadata, because first get metadata has to fetch all the required metadata, then those metadata details has to be inserted into audit table through stored procedure. Okay, so now I'm gonna say load audit. Fine, under settings, let's go ahead and create the link service. Here just we need to create the link service. Okay, so we have already existing link service. Let me use it. This is the link service created for TargetDB. Our stored procedure also is existing in the TargetDB. Okay, let me use existing link service, and if you click on this drop down, you could see if there are any stored procedures existing in that TargetDB database. So we have got one stored procedure called SP audit log. That is the one which we created to load audit table. Now if you go all the way down here, there is option to import. If you click on import, all the parameters those are created in that stored procedure, those all will be shown here, and respective fields also will be added to pass the input values. Okay, count is one parameter, and load date is nothing but here last modified date, and name, size. Let me pass the value for count first. Here we are passing the input values through the metadata fields, those we are getting through get metadata activity, right? So I'm gonna say add dynamic content. Here if you go all the way down, you could see that activity outputs, that is get metadata activity output. Just click on that, and output name. So again, get metadata activity will get many fields, right, like file name, count, size, and last modified. But when you specify output, this output will carry all those fields. But what exactly the field that we need to pass to the counts, that we need to specify here. That is output dot column name. Okay, so you have to be careful here. You have to be very careful here. This, whatever the field that you are passing here, that is case sensitive. What I would say is, in case as already I am aware of that column name, so I just typed here. In case if you are not aware, what I would say is first execute get metadata activity. When you execute, the output will be shown in JSON format. Just go through that output and identify these column names, and what are the value that we are getting through get, that will be in string format. But whereas our count parameter that accepts integer value, so for that what I'm going to do, I'm going to convert this into integer. To convert that into integer, I need to use int function. The first function whatever we are calling, right, that should be started with @. That's it. I'm going to close the bracket. That's it. In the same way, let me pass the value for load date as well. Here the load date is again from the get metadata, and the field name here is last modified. That's it. I'm not converting it. Parameter allows string value, and name I'm gonna just say again add dynamic content. All the way go down, get metadata dot item name. That's it. Say finish. Go back and add size as well. Fine. This time it is size. Yep, we are done with parameter mapping. We just mapped all the input values to the parameters. That's it. Our stored procedure activity is done. Next step is pull last modified date from audit table and compare with last load date in target table. I'm going to add two lookup activities. One to fetch last modified date, the other lookup activity to fetch load date from target table. Alright, fine. These two can be executed parallelly, but the lookup activity which is to fetch the last modified date, that has to be executed post get metadata and also stored procedure activity. Okay, this can be executed before also because it fetches directly from target table. Fine. First of all, let me complete these two activities. So get modified date settings, it has to get modified date from TargetDB and dataset name is TargetDB. Fine. I'm gonna just make the source as query. Let me go to dynamic content. It has to fetch what? It has to fetch last modified date. Let me take that field name, that is modified date, from audit table. Okay, it has to get modified date for the file that we are processing now. Okay, see, if you look at audit table, it might have many file details, but what we are interested on, the modified date for the file which we are processing now, right? For that we need to pass the condition like where name equals to whatever the file name we are getting through get metadata. Okay, fine. Let me go to get metadata, and it should be called with @ symbol. Just take up this @ symbol here. In front of parameter it should be at @. Okay, and it should be within flower brackets as well. Dot item name, right? Yeah, let me close the flower bracket. That's it. So whatever the item name, that is file name that we are getting through get metadata activity, for the same file we need to fetch last modified date from the audit table. Okay, that will be comparing with last load date. That's it. Say finish. We are done with first lookup, and let me complete the second lookup activity, which will get load date from again target table, but this time it is table name is different. Okay, I'm gonna say query select max load date from our target table name, that is product sales. Here I don't need to pass any condition because our target table doesn't have any file, so we can't compare with just whatever the last load date. This table always will be loaded with same file, so obviously there will be only one file will be loaded into the table, but we need to check when the file was loaded last time. That we need to compare with latest modified date of the file. Alright, that's it. Now let me okay, so the next step is what? Next step is our lookup activities will fetch last modified date and last load date, but we need to compare both, right? So to compare both the values and control the flow of our pipeline, we need to use the activity called if condition activity. By using if condition activity, you can compare both the values, and we can handle our pipeline execution flow as well. If condition activity has got two conditions, true as well as false. Whenever our expression evaluates to true, true condition will be executed. Whenever our expression evaluates to false, false condition will be executed. So when true condition executes, whatever the activities within that true condition, those all activities will be executed. When false condition evaluates, whatever the activities we specified within false condition, those all activities will be executed. That's how it works. So now let's go ahead and complete the activity. Let's write expression for true condition. Okay, I'm gonna just add dynamic content. What is our expression? We need to compare both last modified and last load data, right? So if both are not same, then only we need to go ahead and load the data. If both are same, then we need to just archive the file, right? Here true condition is not equals of modified date comma load date. So but whatever the output that we are getting through lookup activity, that will be in object format. To compare that, you need to convert into string first. I'm going to convert both the values into string. Alright, comma this output also let me convert into string. If modified date not equals to last load date, then it should be evaluated to true. Alright, that's what the requirement is. I closed all the brackets. That's it, we are done. So it's very simple. Condition is if our last modified date is not equals to load date, then our condition has to be evaluated to true. That's it. Say finish. We don't need to write expression for false condition automatically. If our expression is not evaluating to true, automatically it will be evaluating to false. That's it. Alright, now let's go ahead and add the activities. Those has to be executed when the condition is evaluated to true. Alright, under true, just go to true condition, just click on this icon and add whatever the activities those you need to execute when it evaluates to true. Okay, so what I'm gonna do, if both are not same, that means it's evaluates to true. I want to load the data from file into table. Fine, for that I'm going to use a copy data activity. As I'm not doing any sort of transformation, copy data activity is more than enough for me. And once it is done, I need to archive the file. So for that again I'm going to use one more copy data activity. First let me complete the first copy data activity to load the data from file into table. Alright, source, what is the source? Source is our ADLS. If you want to check the properly file is used or not, yes, you can just click on that edit button. You can see the under KR demo on product underscore sales.csv. First row has got header. That's it. Go to pipeline again. Now just complete sync settings. What is our sync? Our sync is target DB database. And table name, let's check whether table is used or not. Yes, it's not our target table. Our target table is product underscore sales. That's it. It will load the data from the file in ADLS into the target table, that is product underscore sales in target DB database. That's it. So mapping would have been done properly, but still if you want to check, import schema. If you go all the way down, there is one column in the target table, but value is missing from the source, right? So that is load date. So what I did here, on load date column I created default constraint which will get automatically today's date. Whenever our pipeline executes, that date would be the default value for load date field in our target table. So obviously it's no more mapping required for that, because it doesn't get value from source file. It will get its own value based on the default constraint that I created. So what I can do, I can just take off that. When you go for auto mapping, that issue will not be there, but when you go for manual mapping, then only that issue will be there. So I just took up that mapping for that field. That's it. It will get automatically as per the definition that I given while creating the table. That's it. Now once this copy is done, then it has to move the file to archive folder, right? So archive file, I'm going to name it as archive file, and here again let me specify the file name, that is ADLS, and sync here is, I'm going to create a new dataset for that, ADLS Gen2, say delimited text file, ds ADLS target, I'll say archive, fine. And link service, let me go for ADLS, let me browse the folder where I want to archive. Okay, under KR demo container there is folder called archive, just select that. That's it, all done. Alright, in case of false condition, what it has to do, it has to just archive, right? So for that, what I'm going to do, instead of creating the copy data activity again, and let me copy the activity that I created for archive file and go back to false condition, just click on that, paste the activity here. Okay, this will straight away go ahead and archive the file. When this will be executed, when our expression evaluates to false condition, when that will be evaluated to false condition, when last modified date is not equals to the max load date. Fine, that's it, we are done with all the settings. Now let's go ahead and debug our pipeline. That's it, I'm going to say debug. I hope this is clear for you guys. Let's wait for few seconds, it will be executed and we can go ahead and validate the data. If data is loaded into audit table and also into our target table. Alright, it is failed. What happened? Why it is failed? Alright, there is no column name. I think instead of giving column count, I think I given column name. Okay, let me check in our store procedure. Go to settings, count column. Oh yeah, this is column count, not column name. Okay, I just mistakenly give the name as COUNT. Alright, finish, done. Now let's go ahead and debug our pipeline again. Once our metadata activity is done, let me show you guys and where you could see the output. Okay, our metadata activity is done, right? So let me show you. Just click on this output button. If you see here, this is output is in JSON format. You could see that item name is, see here, it is fetching the file name, and last modified is the date when last time the file is modified, and size of the file and number of columns in the file. That's it. Even lookup activity is also done. Now if condition is executing. Alright, so our package is executed successfully without any issue. Okay, now let me take you guys into SSMS and check if data is loaded properly or not. Execute the script to check details in audit table. Yes, there is one entry inserted into audit table, that is file name, last modified date, and count and size. Alright, now let me check if data loaded into our final table or not. Alright, you could see data loaded into our final table as well. Alright, if I execute the pipeline again, now I'm expecting it should not be evaluated to true. Now this time it has to be evaluated to false condition, because this load date and this modified date both are same. Alright, so before going ahead, let me take you guys into Azure portal and check if the file is archived or not. I'm still keeping the file here because I did not move the file completely. I just copied the file into archive folder. Okay, so under archive folder, yes, there is file mode here. I'm gonna just remove that and we'll check in the next execution. I'm expecting our if condition should be evaluated to false and there should be only archiving happened. Okay, let me go ahead and execute the pipeline again. Alright, let's say start debug. So here this time it has evaluated to false. When it has evaluated to false, so it's picked up the activity which is straight away archiving our file. Alright, so it's not loading data into table. Alright, if you want to look at that condition again, go to if condition, check here, modified date not equals to load date. Okay, if modified date is not equals to load date, then it should be evaluated to true. If both are equals, then it will be evaluated to false. File modified date also today and last load date also today, as both are same. Now this time it has evaluated to false condition and it picked up the activity which we given in the false condition. If you go inside the false condition, you could see archive underscore copy 1. Okay, the activity name here is archive underscore copy 1. If you go to Azure portal also, you could see that file being copied to archive folder. Alright, under containers, go to KR demo, under KR demo, go to archive. See here, the file has been copied. Alright, I hope this is clear for you guys. It near real-time case study. Definitely you will get to do these type of activities in your real-time project. Alright, thanks for watching my video. Please do subscribe for more videos from my side on Azure and also on Power BI. Alright, we'll meet again with a different concept. Until then, bye bye. Thank you.